Hi all, I'm shooting today from my hometown of Lowell, Mass, which is about 50 kilometers outside northwest of Boston. And a couple weeks ago I had asked, now we have about 6 miles of canals here, a kilometer. And so a couple weeks ago I asked if I could take if people thought it would be cool if I took a grappling hook and fished some old bikes out of the canals because canals are loaded with them. And they said, well, there's a couple issues there, right? We got, first off, city doesn't own the canals. Those are owned by a power company. And two, there's a lot of live wires still down there. So unfortunately, those were out of the questions with the grapple hook. And I'm going to guess the permission issue is still there with the magnets. So instead, locally in Lowell, we also have a couple of rivers, the Merrimack and the Concord. The Roe wrote about those a while back. I don't think he did a whole lot of magnet fishing though. So we're here near the Songer's Arena, or whatever it's called currently. And we're going to try to drop some line right here. Now the water, this being early May, the water is still a bit high. Should not affect the magnet much, other than the fact that I won't really be able to see where it's going. So, but the other thing I want to talk about right now, before we get to the whole treasure hunting thing, is I walk down here. I live about a mile north of the river, because that's just the easiest way to find parking. The meter maids, meter person, meter attendants, folks here are kind of vicious. So if you're interested in coming to town, wherever you're coming from, you're probably better off walking. They very serious. But on the way down here, I passed this 4-foot tall K-cup spinner. And there weren't any key cups in it. It was just on the sidewalk. It had a bunch of old bike kickstands in it. And there were kickstands lying on the sidewalk, so I picked those up, and clearly they belonged back in the key cup rack thing. And there's a woman there saying, yeah, don't worry about that too much. Scrappers will come by, and they'll pick it all up for us. And I was reading some of the comments and some of the group postings about magnet hunting. And there's definitely a strong correlation between scrapping and magnet fishing. I think the only difference really is the water. And I remember when I was a kid, my grandfather, I was about 5-6 years old, we'd go out scrapping. He'd wake me up on trash day, hand me a magnet, and we'd just roll down the streets, see what we could find, and take it in for a few bucks. And then more recently though, one of my co-workers down at the hospital said that she did a similar thing to teach her son about the importance of education. And it kind of made me think maybe that's kind of where it all went wrong, but then I realized I'm probably just listening to too much Springsteen. But we're going to give this magnet fishing in the Merrimack River a try, and let's just give it a go. I'm guessing that ain't worth much, but I cleaned up a little, I guess. And this reminds me of another thing a couple folks reminded me of, is you want to wear gloves. So I'm gonna put my gloves on now in case I find something else. You're cute, kid. By the way, I did order a neodymium rhodium battery off the internet. I'll be getting that in a couple days. It's going to be a tiny one, but it's got the handle all attached, and it's bright orange so that the fish won't shoot it. They'll know not to shoot it. We'll see how that goes in a few days. Meanwhile, though, I still get this guy, and it works. So, I almost got a stick. It was a good stick, but it was a stick. I know the magnet I ordered is a lot smaller. Might not get the throw range that this guy's getting. So, any of you guys who are good at this, can give me advice on how to add weight so it travels, let me know what I should be doing there. Thank you. Now, you would think that something that was once known as the River of Death would have more cool stuff in it, but again, this was 100 years ago, 120, 130 years ago, and since then, I think a lot of the death has been fished out. Long story short, it really doesn't take a lot to get strange looks in this town sometimes. Not a whole lot of luck with that spot. I think I was interrupting a gentleman's phone calls / moment of peaceful fishing. The magnet does make a bit of a splash. Also, when you hear about somebody hitting a duck with a 100-pound magnet, that doesn't mean the magnet weighs 100 pounds. Just to clarify that. So I apologize to anybody who might have red hot chili peppers related trauma, but we're gonna try under the bridge. Now, there appears to be a can down there of some sort. I don't expect it to be particularly valuable, but I'm just going to try to use a technique I heard about called aiming. Alright, so after 12, 15 some odd tries, and a lot of them came pretty close, it kind of occurred to me that it wasn't really a magnetic item. For a while I was thinking maybe if I had a real magnet it would work, but I was really right on top of this thing and it just wasn't picking it up. But eventually I knocked it into a position where I could see that it was actually another Dunkin' Donuts cup. No shortage of them around here. They're not really that special in these parts. Maybe you could get more for where you live, so if you find one, I'm not going to tell you what to do with it, other than you probably don't want to reuse it. So unfortunately not the most successful day 2 here for me, but this is still fun. And just like when I was doing the banana slicing thing, and I'll get back to that if I find a banana slicer in the river, it was really just about the fun. So thank you for watching. If you have any advice, I'll gladly accept it. Thank you. All right, for the second time, I was putting my gear away and didn't realize I actually did find something. I'm not sure what this is, but I'm gonna assume it's an indication that I probably should have been wearing gloves. I'll see if I can find somebody who can tell me what these little chunks are. But hey, they are magnetic, and they were the last thing I found on the disc after pulling it up and getting ready to clean it off, thinking they were dirt. Thanks for watching.